So in this video, I will walk you through the requirements that we need to fulfill. Like just created a model for a specific permission function for a fast API CRUD endpoint that allows users who owns the model instant to read the object and also an M2M app to read the object. So here what we are going to implement, so we are going to implement the login logout functionality with the Auth0. So if you see here, I have used manage auth for creating the application and APIs. And with the, if you want to decode the token, you can use this JWT. And here I have created a document also, so I have authorized also here with the client ID secret that I am using. So yeah, means with that we can trigger our API. So let me show you. So with the login, what it is doing, it is basically creating a tokens. And also if you see we got the tokens now, so we can use these tokens to run our to check the models that we have. So here what I have used, I have the model. uh, so I'm using this item model with the owner ID. So the user who has sub ID, so you will get to access that model. So let me show you here also in the postman. So this is the model that is owned by this machine. So if you see here, this model, wait, let me update the token. uh, So now here we got this data, test data. Now this model is not owned by this, so you will get the access denied. So if you see here, so we will getting the access denied. So it fulfills the requirement that we mentioned. Like, so here we have login logout. So if you want to decode this token, you can decode it here. Like if you see here, we have all the details of like algorithm we are using, what are the type and what are the key ID of it. So these are all details of that we are using, what is the ID. And yeah, and if you see here, so here what we have done, we created a regular application. So if we have this regular application to for the tokens that we're using, client ID secret, to run our application, callback URLs, origins, so all these things. And here we have created the API with the endpoint this example.com, and here we just authorize this also. So how we implemented this thing, so let me walk you through that also. So as I mentioned about docs, yes, and JWT, all these things, access token, ID token. And so here the steps that I follow, let me show you that also, so that you will get more idea. So here firstly we load the environment. So in the environment we have the values that we test. These are test data that we used for testing the application: domain, client ID, secret, audience. So we loaded the environment variable first, then we created a auth0 scheme. So if you want to debug this, then you can keep it, otherwise you can remove it also. And here we have used the database to show the data, to get the data. And here with that, so this is the model instance that we are going use. And so this is about the JW token keys that we are using. And here we implemented logic also to get the current user. So it will pass like if the user has access of that model or is not. So if you see this permission function, since permission function we have used M2M app. So means if this user is not the M2M app, then it is got access denied, otherwise it will give us the data. So here this is the homepage that we have shown there. So this is the login URL that we are using, logout. And with the items we can get all the data. And we can also add the item here also, so to get the details, like is it a M2M user, so all these things we can get here. And this is the callback that you are using to get the token from there. This is just a test for testing that application. So now if I show you, so this is the endpoint that I show this. So this model is not access of this. And so this is another owner ID, so we can access that also. And yeah, we can create the test dummy data also. And if you want to like machine can access all the endpoints. So if I show you that also, so we can run the trigger the item, so it will show all the items. uh, So let me check, is there anything I am missing here? So we are using environment variable, scheme, database setup. We are doing verifying the token that we are creating. We are just checking the permission, like this permission has permission or not, like if it is access denying or not. So login, logout, callback. So this is our command that we are using to trigger the API. We are using UVcorn here. And these are the return response that we'll get. We can also run the curl also on the terminal. And these are the packages that we are using. So these are the environment variable that we're using, like application, regular app, APIs, domain is similar to base result application. So these are the URLs that we are using to run our application. So you should show the user who owns the model being able to access it. So if you see access, regarding the access, so I showed you also that, so this user has access, this user does not access, because it is not an M2M app. So, and we are using these callback URIs in our application to trigger this authentication, that we are using this fast API. Like here we updated that, in the applications we updated that URIs to run the application. So this model instance basically allows the to who owns the model instance to read the object. So means with the M2M instance we can read the object. Yeah, these are all the point that I discussed in the video, and let me know. Yeah, thanks.